Okay, sorry about that. That was really dumb. The software just decided to stop working for no reason whatsoever. The webcam thing. Just typical shit. Just typical that stuff doesn't want to work. Ugh. "1:30 p.m. I guess I didn't specify the time zone, huh? I thought it makes it automatic. Like I would think that it would. Yeah, that it would be automatic.
Speaking of that lineage, just imagine. Cornia's illustrious House Maye, allied with the rebels who seek to reclaim her status. Why, we'd be a prized feather in their cap. Isn't that right, Elaine?
I wouldn't disagree. Our union would be a significant one indeed.
Then it's settled. I should say, I've taken quite a liking to you.
Okay, so
That's why I'm joining. Above anything else.
Thank you, Melisandre.
That's not all I want.
we'll start with normal questions and then we'll work into Zoom questions
Place at your side for real.
Sorry.
a little bit after. What we'll do is we'll make the last 30 minutes about Zoom questions just to give it
One of the few dozen concerts every king calls
a little bit of a
Just one of your side.
split.
This game is so based. I love it.
Fascinating. Yes. Let's.
Yeah.
So, how do you approach women in a grocery store?
Yes, please.
Direct. You go direct. There's really the only time that you would have a good
Playing fucking wild.
Speaking of
context to kind of open her is if she's on the like in the same aisle, like right next to you, kind of looking at stuff, and then you just kind of casually ask, "Oh, doing your shopping for the week?" Just very, very typical shit. Nothing, nothing really super fancy. Other than that, I suggest you go pretty direct. Give an example. I mean, even one time I remember, this girl was kind of looking at me a lot, and I tried this really ballsy approach in the grocery store. I literally just walked up to her and I was like, "Give me your number." She's like, "Okay." I mean, I could tell she was interested, so I got her phone number and then I left. It was a bit too fuckboyish, and she didn't end up responding. I kind of played it too cocky, but it was just something funny to try. What's another example? Is this a good-sized banana? It's a bit too sexual. But, I mean, the thing with girls is that risk can sometimes pay off. It's just a question of how often does it pay off and how consistent is it? You're normally always a lot better off to go for the safer route. You take risks when you have the room to take risks. So for the most part, I mean, here's what's going to happen if I tell you to go indirect in the grocery store. You're going to try and force it. You're going to try and put yourself in the same aisle as her and then ask the question. And normally it's not going to work that way. You go indirect when it just comes, when the situation arises spontaneously. Like you're doing normal grocery shopping, then you look over and the girl's like right next to you. You're like, oh shit. That's when you say, oh, you're just doing your grocery shopping for the day. Or I don't know, if you're in the fucking cereal aisle, say there's so many different kind of cereals. Holy crap. Or, hey, I've been wanting to try a new cereal. Got any recommendations? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I normally just go for, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I've been eating it since I was a kid. Oh, yeah, I love that. Okay. Otherwise, go direct, dude. What situations should you not go direct? Very few. Most of the time, you do want to go direct. I go over a lot of this in my day game course. That's why I try not to give it too much. I mean, at some point, I have to make a living out of this. So, some of the more day game stuff I try to keep for the course. Yes, I was telling you situations where you go indirect. Those were a few. But most of the time, you're going to go direct. Most of the time, you don't really have a reason not to walk up and say, excuse me, I saw you over here and I thought you were really cute. In the vast majority of circumstances, it's the best thing to do. What do you need to do on the first date to create a sexual spark? Well, first you have to make her feel comfortable. You can't create sexuality without comfort. It's very difficult. It's kind of like why, if you're trying to hook up with a girl and you can't get hard, it's because you're not comfortable. The anxiety is too much. Like you're always gonna have a little bit of anxiety when you're turned on and you want to fuck, but you don't feel comfortable. Same thing is gonna happen with a girl. If she doesn't feel comfortable, it's gonna be hard for her to feel that sexual energy. So I would suggest first you focus on making her feel comfortable. And the best way to make a girl feel comfort is to have it seem very clear that you know how to respond to her body language. When she's closed off, you close off, and you don't put too much effort. You're not leaning in a lot, giving her a lot of attention. And then when she is giving you a lot of good fundamentals, you return good fundamentals in return. So giving a lot of strong eye contact, smiling, etc. Once the comfort's established, then the sexuality. I mean, are you thinking sexually? Are you looking at her sexually? That's the main part. If you think in a sexual way, you're going to come off more sexual. Like if you're always thinking about sex and you're always like thinking about how hot she is and how attracted you are, your passion is going to come out. It's going to be very clear in the way that you express yourself. like, a lot of creating sexuality is being sexually turned on yourself. Like, imagine if a girl was standing in front of you, and you're having a conversation, or you're on a date, and she's not doing anything particularly special, but she's really like looking at you in the eyes, kind of smiling, and yeah, and she's kind of like, opening up her body, and she's got her fucking tits like this. You're gonna feel sexual, right? Okay. Same thing. If you're, I know I'm not exactly the best hot girl to show you that, but if you're kind of like looking at her a lot, lingering eye contact, maybe you like straight up check her out while you're across from her. Just like look at her tits, or just like gaze at her body. I mean, she's gonna see it. She's looking at you. So she's going to feel your intentions. And if she feels comfortable, and then you're expressing sexuality, there's a strong chance she's going to reciprocate. Because when you show sexual intent, she's going to feel confident that, oh, he finds me sexually attractive. And I feel comfortable. So now it's just a question of, do I want to show that back? But usually when you show yours, she wants to show hers. It's kind of like being vulnerable. If you tell something really vulnerable and like that could make you look weak or embarrassed or anything bad, she's going to feel more comfortable also being vulnerable. Right? So if you lead with your sexuality, which is going to be evident in the way you're looking at her and the way you're speaking, most of it's the eye contact. But if you just think sexual thoughts, like literally it's the easiest experiment in the world. Get on a date with a girl or be around girls and just think sexually, like constantly be like imagining like there's a girl in front of you at the waiting for coffee, and just like imagine her naked, like in the middle of Starbucks, just like on her knees sucking your dick. Just start thinking about it. You're going to start kind of giving off a vibe. People are going to pick up on it. But you have to get comfortable doing it. Because when you first start off, you're going to be uncomfortable. So you might actually come off creepy. Because there's going to be a conflict in your emotions. But the more you think sexually, the more comfortable you're going to be being sexual. And once it becomes a pattern or a habit, then it's just normal for girls. Then you're going to start, like I have a client who I've taught him this. And he's like, girls are acting so sexual around me. It's so interesting. Like they give me all these behaviors that they never really did before. So my first advice would be start thinking sexually. What's your assessment of my fundamentals? Very average. And you need to stop asking questions. You're not allowed to ask any more questions until you do 20 approaches. You ask too many questions. I've been doing this a long time. I can tell when people are asking questions that they're not actually doing anything. Go do 20 approaches. Your fundamentals are way too... Oh, yeah, bro. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, you're way too excited. You got to chill the fuck out. You probably make your girls feel uncomfortable. Like you left a comment on the YouTube video. You're way too high energy. And I know I'm very direct and it comes off like I'm an asshole, but whatever. At this point, I accepted it. It's a flaw that I don't really try to work on too much. You learn a lot faster. Do you think meeting women in nightclubs is a waste of time? Yes. I think it's inefficient. I think there's so much more efficient. I'm unable to buy What She Really Means on Amazon. Do I have to buy it on your website? Sorry for just sounding like a cheapskate. I mean, no. I mean, are you in a country where, you know, I don't know, it's hard to get an Amazon account or something? Is it not working? Looks like it's still up. Shouldn't have any issues. Still only 7.5 reviews. I gave like 50 people that book. And like 5 people reviewed it. I literally said, here's a free book. Please review it. Yeah. Whatever. Guess it's my karma. Yeah, I mean, if you're having trouble buying it on Amazon, then yeah, get it on your girl Chase website. If attraction cannot be created or destroyed, how do you attract women if you aren't good looking? I mean, it can be created. It's very difficult when the girl doesn't have any reason to give you a chance. Like, she just walks past you. But if you have if a girl's not naturally attracted to you because of your physical features or any of your fundamentals just on first glance, if you're in like a room with her and someone gets in a conversation with you and you start showing a lot of more of your fundamentals because you have a chance, then yes, you have a chance to show it. So, I mean, attraction isn't fucking matter or really energy. It's something a little different. So it doesn't, but I understand that, you know, it's an interesting way to think about it. It can't be created or destroyed. And I'm sure I've said something like that before, but first of all, it's not just based on how you look. It's based on your behaviors, your voice, your body language, the way you move, the way you speak. And she can see that for a few seconds and be attracted to it. But if that's not there, then there has to be she has to have the ability to see you working for at least a couple minutes or a little bit longer, see you in conversation. Then she can actually really appreciate you. But it's not just being good looking. It's about your fundamentals. I talk about this a lot. Fundamentals, 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 fundamentals. I literally can't stress it enough. Fundamentals. Eye contact, body language, facial expressions. Vocal tonality, hand gestures. Which I guess you could call it body language. What practical steps should you take on a first date so that she wants to see you again? Well, is there anything that she wants to see more of? I mean, think about it. Is there anything that she hasn't yet seen that she wants to continue to see? It could just be your sense of humor. You could be really funny. But for her to go on multiple dates, she has to see one of two things. You would make a good sexual partner, or you're going to make a good boyfriend. That's it. And she wants to keep seeing if that's the case. Your goal shouldn't be to get a second date. Your goal should be to make the first date really good. Because it's very hard to know what it's going to be that she's going to want to see on the second date. How can I avoid rejection? Be perfect. Just be better. And it's a very vague question. I wane between overly excited and unexcited. Yeah, you're just there's something just off about the way you behave. And mostly it's just your yeah, maybe it's your inconsistency. But I would say it's your fundamentals. Your fundamentals are very off. I don't think you need to ask any more theoretical questions. I think you need to focus on, you know, comfort. Let's say start making girls feel more comfortable. You need to relax. It's something deeper down. It's hard to put a finger on, but you got to start digging it in some direction. So I would say calming down is a good first move. Is it true you need to merge sets and go indirect to pick up a 10? Huh? No? What is this fucking mystery method shit? Just get good, bro. Yeah. I have to know more about you. That's why I say go do 20 approaches. I have to know how girls are responding to you. All I can tell you is how I respond to you. And that's where guys get their feelings hurt. A lot of my coaching is I just base it on how I respond to you. Like, do you annoy me? Then I ask myself, why do you ignore? Like, why do I get annoyed? What's the reason? Like, what thoughts come into my head when you annoy me? I'll tell client. I just had a client. He actually came back recently. Not you, Davion. Someone else. And because I know we started working together recently. I had an old client from years ago come back. And when we worked together many years ago, I had to tell him at some point. I was like, you're kind of annoying. and it hurt his feelings. He got kind of upset. I explained it, though, obviously. Some clients don't take it too well. I actually lose clients on occasion because I piss them off. Even after I explain it. Like, even after I'm very clear, like, this is me trying to help you. But this other guy, I told him, like, you just the way you act is just fucking annoying. Like, you don't shut the fuck up. Like, you just listen to what I'm saying. And I bet that you make this mistake with your friends. Like, if you make this mistake with someone that you see as an authority that you're trying to learn from, and you're just like fucking, it doesn't even sound like you're listening the way that you respond. I can't imagine how oblivious and obnoxious you come off to your friends or to girls. So here's a good fucking idea of why people are repelled by you. And when he came back and did coaching, so this is now years later, he was like, you know what? That was really helpful. I realized that I don't just sometimes shut the fuck up and listen to people. And he says it's made a really big impact on my life. So I took my personal what repels me. Like, I have clients that I don't like. I just don't particularly like them. But I do my job. But I use, why don't I like them? There's something about it. What is it? So you can do that with yourself. What don't you like about yourself? Like, if you had to be really, really honest. Just look back at why people have rejected you. Friend groups, too. Why do people not want to be friends with you anymore? Or why do you not want to be friends with people? Why when you feel like you don't like someone, either when you first meet them and you never spend time with them again, or someone you were friends with and you stop spending time with them? What made you stop spending time with them? Or if someone stopped spending time with you, did they tell you, or did you at least have a good hint? Like, usually the hint is whatever the last time you hung out with them, that was probably when you did something weird. What was it that you did at that time? It's the way they speak. It's the way they eat their fucking food. It's the way that they carry themselves. Then ask yourself, do I exhibit any of these behaviors? And there's a good chance you do. It's a very good way to self-diagnose. But that's why a coach is important, because it's a third-person perspective. It's an objective perspective. Because you may hate something about yourself that's actually... You may hate something about yourself that's actually not that bad. Like, it may actually be cool, but you're insecure about it for some reason. So sometimes it's kind of hard to see that. Like, if I go with a client and I go to his social circles and I see how his social circle treats him, then oh my God, that's huge. I can tell you exactly what's wrong. Sorry, guys. I have a lot of gas. Just burping on camera. Oh, well. Have you had experience with East Asian women, especially Japanese, and how different it is where you live? I mean, I had a client who was literally in Japan while we were on the fucking on a call, just approaching girls just normally as you would anybody else. Was doing just fine. Girls are girls, dude. Chase has had a lot of experience in Asia. It's like the girls are girls. When he went to Asia, some dudes had told him like, "Oh, you can't. Girls here won't sleep with you on the first date, or this or that doesn't work on girls." It's like, I didn't listen to any of them. It's all the same. It's all the same, bro. I don't think anywhere is special. But if I have any personal experience, I mean, I fucked a Taiwanese girl, but she was pretty Americanized. I fucked a Chinese girl, but she was pretty Americanized. Japanese girl, she was in my room, but she tried to play that super innocent Oni-chan kind of fucking shit, you know, and I didn't put up with it. I just kicked her out. I was like, I'm not playing this game. I wasn't in the mood to play with her fake innocent act. What are the signs you did good on the date? Oh, I fucked an Indian girl, but she was pretty Americanized. I fucked a girl from Iran. Like, she was just recently moved from Iran. Normal. I almost fucked her in a public bathroom. So, you know. She came from one of the most conservative countries in the world and got raw dogged on the first date. Like, I was about to fuck her in the bathroom, and then I just took her home and raw dogged her a bunch and came on her titties. She was beautiful. Kind of a busty woman. Not normally my type, but she was hot. I loved fucking her. She told me she loved me on the first date. How do you make friendships? What are good ways to make friends? Be interested in people. I can make friends with anybody. Hey man, what's up? How are you? Oh, pretty good. Da-da-da. Just keep asking questions. Guys are really easy to make friends with. But I tend to be pretty tumultuous in friendships, actually. Because I tend to be that friend who just says things that are always, like, brutally true. I don't always have the best timing. I tend to just fucking say what I want. It usually lost me a lot of friend groups. And I lost a lot of friends because I'm just always trying to fuck girls. So guys want to have me around, but at the same time they don't. I mean, it's not like I'm like trying to take their girl, but like, you know, it's a positive but also a negative because you're always going to be talking to girls. But I'm very good at making friends and having a lot of friends. But I also just don't like guys that much. I'd rather hang out with girls. Most guys don't really do anything for me. Most of my friendships in the past few years have eroded because I feel like I'm not getting anything out of it. Which sounds incredibly douchey, I know, but oh well. I could be a bit of a dick. Especially if you play games with me. Like, don't play Dota with me. I'm gonna, like, my absolute best friend in the world, I flame him, like, constantly. I mean, I'm much better at it now, but if you don't play perfect, I'm gonna get up your ass. And I'll get up my own ass, too. I mean, I'll be like, that was fucking stupid. I don't know why I did that. But not everyone likes having that kind of personality around. So the point is, but just be curious in people. Be very curious. Just ask questions. Hey, man, what do you do? Oh, yeah, cool. Like, literally just treat guys like girls. You're just, instead of being sexual, you're going to be, you're not turned on by them, so your questions aren't going to come off like they're sexual. Can you use game to meet chase women, or does it only work on promiscuous modern women? Okay, how do you seduce traditional women? Are they robots? Of course, game works on everybody. Game is just persuasion. Game is just persuasion. That's all it is. Persuasion and charm. Do traditional women not want to be charmed? Like, I think you have it in this head that, or in your head. Guys are sometimes really fucking dumb. I'm not saying that to you, like, but I just mean in general. Like, especially red pill, they're just brain fucking dead retarded. Like, oh yeah, good women. It's like, do you think these good women are just fucking robots? Like, do you just have this idea that women in the past are just like these, oh yes, I'm just so good and I bake cookies, then I suck cock. It's like, bro. They like a charming, funny, sexy man just as much as the slut does. Maybe even more so. I would say game even works better on traditional women. Because promiscuous women, they've already seen it all. So it's kind of, they're a little bit resistant. Like they've been vaccinated against game. Like, I know you're asking me these questions so I can answer them, and that's not a problem, but, like, think about these things for a second when you ask them. Like, do you think that normal women don't want to be charmed, swept off their feet? I have trouble knowing how the set is going. I tend to assume it's not well due to the girl being quiet, not appearing keen, low energy. But after I eject, she expresses frustration at me not escalating. It's very confusing. It's happened multiple times recently, so it's a major sticking point for me. I think you have good fundamentals. You either have really good fundamentals or you are good looking. They're nervous. I had a client like this. Really good looking guy. He's also a cool guy. He was kind of the full package. That was the problem. And I told him, dude, just start escalating. Like, it was the simplest solution in the world. I love this fucking story. I don't know if it's real, but it's like one of those kind of Aesop's fables kind of stories. So there's this factory, and this big fucking really important machine in the factory breaks down. So they hire this really specialized guy to come fix it because it's very fucking complicated. It comes in, takes a look at it, says, I know what's wrong with it. Fixes it, gives them the bill. They're like, what was wrong? He's like, there was a bolt that wasn't, tightened down properly. And the bill read like 30 cents for the bolt, $35,000 as the final charge. And they're like, well, but the bolt was only 35 cents or whatever. It's like, yeah, but it took me years of working on this machine to know how to find out exactly what's wrong with it and solve the problem in 10 seconds rather than fucking around for hours and charging you God knows what. Right? I just knew. Shoot. Turn that. Boom. Starts working. Right? So I had this client. I mean, he had other little things. Like his texting was absolute dog shit, garbage, dumpster fire, fucktard shit. Right? But the main thing on dates, because even though he was shitting the bed on the texting, he was still getting girls on dates. It's like, dude, escalate. And it took him a year and a half to finally believe me. And then when he did, all of a sudden, boom. I mean, he had other issues, but this was the one, like, it was the biggest problem with the machine. Other machines had problems, but this machine, the main big one that's important in the factory, just fucking start trying to fuck him, dude. Lo and behold, things started working. Have you read My Secret Garden by Nancy Friday? It's made up of women's confessions of sexual fantasies. Yeah, I've read it. I read parts of it. I didn't read the whole thing because I got the point. I was like, yeah, okay, they like kinky shit. I'm sure you have all sorts of weird fucking fantasies. Maybe you want to like piss in some girl's mouth and then she baby birds it to another girl. I don't fucking know. Yeah, girls like fucking kinky shit. There's really nothing a girl is beyond trying. Most girls. They just got to be warmed up to it. And you should pretty much do any fantasy with a girl as long as it's not involving another guy. Or her dominating you. Other than that, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Is there a language barrier when you game in countries like France? Well, there's a language barrier, but just use Google Translate, bro. I remember when I used to approach girls in Denmark when I first did day game, and I would just walk up to girls and they would just start smiling at me, and they would be like, "Sorry, I don't speak English," but they would just stand there and smile at me, and I go, "Oh, okay," and I'd walk off, and they would just be staring at me, smiling. Like, dude, just fucking, try something. I mean, you have Google Translate now. I don't think I didn't have it back in 2013, or it wasn't like a normal thing, like the app on your phone. But I'm sure I could have figured it out. I could have just like pointed like me, you, something. When I was in Ukraine, I had a date and I literally just used Google Translate. It was perfect. She barely spoke English. Like, I mean, like, almost no English. How do you deal with men when they feel threatened by you? These are so many different questions you're asking. I mean, one at a time. Sometimes you guys are like, how can I generate warmth? Care about people. Do you deep down care about people? Like, do you actually give a shit about the people around you? Like, do you want what's good for them? And do you have there's warm features, like fundamentals? Smiling, soft eye contact versus, like, hard eye contact. Like, hard eye contact's, like, piercing. Soft. Soft eye contact, soft smile, you know, a full tooth smile, you know, not trying to be smirky and all fucking James Bondy, like, hi, how are you? You know, very light tonality. You're not like, hey, what's up? Yeah, okay. Hey, man, how are you? What's going on, buddy? Like that. Those are the behaviors, but then there's also the energy or the thoughts, the intentions. Do you actually care? Hey, man, I like hot Arab Persian women. I don't fucking know where they are. Oh, well, if you like hot Arab, I mean, the UK. Like, I know there's a lot of fucking Arab immigration there in Sweden, but it's mostly guys. So maybe not. I don't know, dude. I have no idea where they are. All right, we're at 40 minutes, so let's open up the Zoom. And then I'll turn on so you can hear my end, so you can hear the guy actually asking questions. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. There's the Zoom. You can ask one question. You get one question. I'm not sitting here for 3 hours. Okay, guys. One question. I had a girl classmate ask for my IG, liked my stories, and mostly liked her for her looks, but did not see much attraction or personality. I did not make a move. Now, when I ask her questions regarding casual stuff like course notes, she's not responding. Well, yeah. Sounds like you didn't just make a move. If you eventually don't make a move, you're not going to get anywhere with her. You're welcome. Zoom. Who do we got? Good vibes. What's up, man?
Hey, Hector.
Hey, what's up? What's up, buddy?
I'm sleeping and resting right now.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
Yep, you're first.
Cool. I would like to ask you how to build aggression. And answers.
How to build aggression?
Yes, the trait of aggression and handling conflict.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's hard for me to like recommend, you know, wanting to teach guys how to be aggressive. But I would say you need to work less on aggression and work on your willingness to endure pain.
Okay.
Because you don't have to be aggressive to make someone not want to fight you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just have to I talked about, actually I had a live stream yesterday. I was on the live stream, but it didn't broadcast it, but someone actually asked me, he'll get cock blocked in clubs a lot and guys will kind of almost like threaten to fight him. So he was kind of going through a similar thing where he needed to be able to intimidate guys because these guys feel like they can get away with it, right? Because no one's gonna go up and fight. Most of the time, someone's not gonna fight you if they think you'll fight back.
Okay.
Right? So if someone tries to like bully you or attack you, it's mostly because they thought you were an easy target. Right?
Okay.
So there was something about him that these guys feel like, oh, I can just physically intimidate him and he's not going to fight back. But if you just have you ever seen one of those
the aura of someone who through nonverbal expressions,
yeah.
someone who would fight.
Yeah. So have you ever seen the videos of you can look it up online, like a robber comes into the store and like asks for their money, and there's a guy there sitting drinking a beer and he doesn't even react. And the robber's like,
A few
hey,
years ago that was on something on Inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of vibe is what you're looking for. Like, okay, and obviously if someone has a gun to you or a knife to you, I suggest you give them your money, right? I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. But what I'm saying is, just to have this energy of like, okay, if something happens to me, it'll suck, but I'll deal with it, right? But if you act super scared, people are more likely to fuck with you. Not standing tall, looking around, very jittery. You don't look, you look confused, you look lost. But if you have like a very focused, intense energy, then yes, then yeah, there, you can maybe get it from going to boxing classes and going to kickboxing classes and just get hit more, right? Because do you want to tell me about the situation that happened, or would you prefer not to talk about it?
I was randomly walking in downtown.
Yeah.
I got hit and there was a bit of conversation.
But
and
wait, who came up to you?
A random guy.
A random guy. Okay. And what was his first question?
How are you doing?
Yeah. So you probably
Or how is your day going?
Yeah, that's a really weird question for a random guy to ask you. You should have immediately kept walking. Like, did you feel anything off about this guy?
No.
That's the problem. There was definitely something. He was giving off some weird vibes that you probably weren't aware of because you're not paying attention. And it's okay.
Except for normal street
Were you did you
vibes.
sorry, okay, yeah, street vibe. Okay.
That he seemed polite.
He seemed polite. Okay, was he very close to you?
He came back and that was at first no, but then he turned around and came back and I was out and yeah, that's what happened.
So, okay, so he came up and asked you, how are you? And how did you respond?
That's the thing. What do I want to say? Okay, I was going on a street and a guy walked past me asking how are you? And I said I don't want to talk, okay, because I saw him and it's my normal response. No, I saw him. I don't know about my normal response. I was looking for a place to go. And he came back and he had an object in his hand that I could not see. And I got my face smashed in after that.
So, okay. So he walked past you and you said, I don't want to talk to you.
Something like, yeah.
Okay. Now I can see maybe he was probably looking for someone. He was looking for an excuse to hurt someone. And you kind of were rude to him. He was like, hey, man, how are you? Like, he was looking for someone to talk to him weird. And your response to him was I mean, I'm just gonna. It was a bit rude the way you responded. I don't want to talk to you. That's a bit rude. Are you in the West? Or are you in the East?
Right now, I'm in the West.
Okay, you're like in America or Canada. Okay. So yeah, that guy was looking for an excuse to hurt someone, right? So you pissed him off, but the problem is if you try to piss someone off, you better have the aura that they don't want to mess with you. But because you're not a threatening person, but you were also rude, then they had the reason to attack you. Right?
Okay.
So normally when someone walks past you on the street and you don't know them, don't be rude to them. Just ignore him. That's different. You can ignore someone. Right?
Yeah.
Now if they come up and follow you after that, your instinct should be run. That person is dangerous because he was clearly looking to hurt someone. That was his mission when he walked out. He was mad about something. He's clearly a piece of shit, right? But
Okay.
something messed with him, and he was looking for someone, and you gave him an excuse. Not saying it's your fault. What I'm saying is you gave him an excuse, and then on top of that, you're not intimidating. Yes. Okay, so he hit you with. Did you ever figure out what the fuck he hit you with?
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So, are you okay?
I'm well now.
Was there any physical long-term damage? I mean, you look swollen, but you look okay. You don't look like there is anything super wrong with you. You just look swollen.
Yeah. The right side of the bones in the right side of my face were broken.
Yeah.
I have braces on.
Okay.
And I have to wait for it to heal.
Yeah, to heal. Yeah, but you don't look too bad. I mean, your lip looks swollen, but you don't look too bad. So it's good that there's not any long-term like visible stuff. Yeah. Did the doctor say you're gonna be okay generally? Like nothing too crazy is gonna happen?
Well, my inner tooth structure has changed, and my teeth will have problems.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's normal.
I'm sorry to hear that. Did they find the guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, there you go. That's good.
I wonder how that will go with the American bail system and criminal justice.
Yeah, it depends what city you're in. Some cities are very pro-criminal, so to speak. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Well, rest assured, karma doesn't worry about politics. So, getting tortured in hell isn't something you can pay for bail on. So, not saying you should take pleasure in that, but
no,
yeah,
I get
it. It'll come, and it won't feel good. So,
I don't know karma personally, but I do feel that the person, like the mind of a person,
yeah,
always carries repercussions based on their actions.
Yeah,
and that is what karma exists in the pain that a person can feel in their mind.
Yeah,
and it's difficult to get out of. That's my personal view.
Yeah,
from my experiences. So,
yeah. Well, I hope you physically feel better and mentally. Hopefully, you take something positive from this. I know it's very difficult, but.
Thanks for the advice about this. And is there a way that I can use this experience for mental growth?
With regards to like dating or just in general?
Both.
Well, dating, I don't really. I mean, it'll make you a harder person in general, which is usually pretty attractive to women. For life, yeah. I mean, sure. It'll just make you stronger. I mean, if you can endure that pain, I mean, it's pain at the end of the day. And if you can endure it, the more you can endure it, the stronger you are.
Okay.
And it makes you realize that things are impermanent, that the body is impermanent. That there are consequences to actions, even
Got
if
it.
it doesn't feel like fair sometimes. You know, like this guy eventually is going to, I mean, you could see it as you burn some bad karma. If you believe in karma, right? You know, you paid a debt that maybe was lingering in the background, and okay, cool. One less thing I have to deal with. I would say the major thing, though, is that it'll teach you that life is very uncertain and that you should never really get too comfortable.
So, I have one more question.
Okay.
Regarding fear work and trauma,
Yeah.
it is doing things that make you afraid. So, before we connected the first time, I did that quite a lot, and I had developed the willingness to go for higher stakes, integration sort of thing, and I did that recently after what happened. I went back on the street, and whatever, a couple days after what happened, I wrote down the things I'm scared of again, and I kind of went out and tried to face those. Does it go away, or do these fears ever go away, or is it do I have to kind of split my mind to both handle myself and the fear at all times?
Well,
Because
okay,
kind of what,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's kind of what I need to do. It's splitting the consciousness.
No, you don't have to split consciousness or anything like that. That's just your thoughts just kind of being confused. Does fear go away? I mean, it depends on what level of an answer you're looking for. If you're looking for like a a more short-term solution, then the long term is yes, and the short term is yes to the answer. Like, yes, fear will go away. It's just a question of what level you want fear to go away on. On the smaller level, exposing yourself to your fears will build up a tolerance to it, and you'll become comfortable even when you're afraid. So you'll be in a situation where you're scared, but you've been in either this situation or many other situations where you've been scared, and you go, "Hey, I've been here before." Fear is pain; it's a mental pain instead of a physical pain, and I'm used to it, so I know eventually it's going to fade. So you become comfortable with it. That's one level. The other level, like the final level of being free from fear, is only when you become enlightened. So that's the journey of Buddhism. So I would suggest if you really are serious about getting rid of fear, that's something that fear comes from desire, right? You want to live. That's why you're afraid of death. Okay? So if you don't have the desire to live, then you won't be so scared of death, right? If you don't have the desire for pleasure, you won't really be afraid of pain. Oh, I feel bad. Well, the only reason that you don't like feeling physical pain is because you want to feel good or neutral. But that's a very, very difficult thing to start under, and it might take a long, long time. But I would start by, I would say that's probably a bit too down the road for you right now. I would suggest first dealing with this right now. I would suggest, like you said, starting to face your fears. Take it very slow. It's not easy at all. I totally understand, but take it really slow. Go ahead.
I did a few months phase till the point I faced fears where I was ready to die. Actually, multiple times I've done it already, and
Okay.
I was ready to die at that time, actually, because I didn't know what I didn't. It might be because I couldn't predict that in those situations, but I've already gone through them before.
Yeah.
It didn't help though. A few days ago, what happened? I was ready to die. Actually, that's the first question I asked myself, and I felt peace. I really didn't feel attached to life, and I would have been okay. But so I didn't feel fear or pain actually because of adrenaline. It just felt odd, almost. So I'm confused really, and I thought, you might have some advice on this.
I mean, I wouldn't say that was an escape from fear. I think it was a momentary I give up. And then, you feel like I don't care about this life anymore, so you give it up. I wouldn't say that that's necessarily freedom from fear. I think that most people are going to go through that when they die. At a certain point, they're going to be like, okay, it's not worth fighting anymore. Let the cancer take me, or the heart attack take me, or the blood loss, whatever it is. Everyone's going to encounter that. If you really want freedom from fear, it's not a giving up. It's something a little bit more distinct than that. But first, in order to understand these questions that you're trying to ask me, you have to build up the ability to intensely concentrate on the answers, because the answers that you're looking for they're not gonna come in the form of thoughts. They're gonna come in the form of like a knowledge, and the only way for you to be able to distinguish between, oh, I felt peace and I wasn't scared of death, yeah, maybe. But for the most part, you kind of just gave up, right? You kind of just you felt like you let go, but you didn't. For you to actually get some sort of knowledge, you're going to have to be able to be more calm than just giving up. So you have to start practicing the ability to become very, very relaxed and very, very concentrated. And in order to do that, you have to start meditating. There's no shortcut. You're trying to go straight to the answers, and you're not. You have to do the work to be able to accept the answers. So think of meditating as sharpening a sword, and then think of the questions that you're trying to find out. How do I stop being afraid? That's when you cut the cords that are keeping you kind of tethered to your attachments. But you can't cut those without first sharpening the sword. So you have to learn how to meditate. So you have to sit there quietly and focus on your breath, or focus on a word. You could focus on the word Budo, or just find a single, like a 2-syllable word to focus on, and you literally just keep focusing on that and be able to do it for hours and hours and hours and hours, and learn how to become very calm. That'll build up your strength, and it'll create a place of comfort and a place of safety when you get scared. Right?
Okay.
Like there were monks who were training for decades, and they would still get scared walking around the jungles of Thailand, and there would be a fucking tiger, right? Like literally, right. Okay? And they would get scared. So what they would do is go,
and once they're refocused on that particular...
Right. They don't get scared anymore. They say Budo, 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 Budo. They literally like replace all of their fears with this word, and then they see, oh, my fear comes from these thoughts. Okay, but why is the fear coming from these thoughts? Well, that's the more deep question. But first, you have to be able to like stop getting hit for a couple seconds by this fear.
Got it.
So,
and do you stop this practice?
Do I what?
Do stop this practice for a long period of time reduce
progress?
Take away?
In one way, yes. It's kind of like if you stop going to the gym, are you going to get out of shape and gain weight? Yes. But are you going to forget how you worked out? No. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So if you practice this, you're going to build up some strength. And if you stop doing it later, are you going to get fat? Yes. But once you get back to the gym, are you probably going to progress a lot faster? Yes. So you never really lose progress.
Okay.
But I would
Okay.
suggest this is your first. Don't worry too much about all of these complicated questions. You're just liable to get confused. Just focus on getting calm, or think of it this way: getting
Does
strong.
your mind still function if you are focusing on something?
Yes, that is it is your mind. It's actually your mind is functioning better than it ever has because it's clear.
Yes.
The reason why you get scared is because your mind is actually not functioning correctly.
Okay.
But when your mind is focused, it's actually functioning better than it probably ever has been.
Okay.
Okay.
Does this feel like there is all of your consciousness is directed to one spot?
Yes. Correct.
I've done this.
One spot. Correct. Yes.
I've done this.
Okay, but you need to do it more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yes.
All right. That wraps. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you feel
that
better
is-
soon, and I'm sorry that happened to you.
Thank you. It wasn't your fault. All right. Have a good day
You too, buddy.
and bye.
All right. Good luck. Okay. So next question. Who was first? Was it Frank or Danila?
Not Danila.
Okay. Rick's not allowed to ask questions. Rick is forbidden from asking questions. He needs to go practice first.
I'm not gonna ask questions, man. I'm just here to observe
Oh, okay.
and try to tone down my energy level,
Good.
like you said. You
Good.
know,
Good.
it's more of like artificially excited because I'm a fan and I'm on your fucking Q&A. So now I'm like, okay, tone down a little bit.
I'm literally just a dude who teaches you how to fuck girls. It's not that big of a deal. Stop. Literally, you shouldn't idolize anybody. That's your problem. Because you're idolizing me or girls, or it's a waste of time. It's dumb.
Yeah, I heard you say that to Eddie in one of your videos, the Spanish guy. Same thing.
Yeah.
So this is like my usual vibe when I'm like talking to a friend who I've known for like 5-10 years and I don't fucking need to impress them, whatever.
Yeah. But still, the source of the anxiety is there. It's visible. Like, even if you're calm, I mean, it's possible to look relaxed but be uncomfortable. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Someone can be really excited and look anxious. Someone could also be very calm and look anxious. Just because you're not bouncing off the walls doesn't mean you don't look anxious, right? So you don't look calm. It's visible in the way your eyes dart left and right. You shift your body language a lot, right? I'm not saying you have to be a stone, but what I'm saying is it is visible. So when you walked up to those girls and you asked them to where the convenience store is, or they asked you where the convenience store was, and you're like, "Oh, I'll go with you," and they're like, "No, I'm okay." It's because they felt uncomfortable. They didn't feel safe around you, right? Because you looked uncomfortable. So it's not like they think you're gonna kill them. It's like, it's like why people fucking vote for the president based on how confident they are, which is such it's such a stupid metric, right? But it is important at the same time, right? They're only getting half the equation. They see that he's very well spoken and confident. Oh, I like him. Well, you also need to make sure that his policies are good, right? But most people are going off that first impression. So you come in, they don't know anything about you. The only thing that they can make a judgment on is, does he seem like he feels comfortable? If you feel comfortable, they're going to feel comfortable, or more likely to feel comfortable. Like,
Right.
like if you say, "Hey, I'll show you where it is," you know, and start walking, and they go, "Oh, okay," you can kind of just like smile and be like, "Okay, whatever," you know, have a good night, and keep
Maybe
practicing.
that's.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. You first.
but
Go ahead.
you have to train. I'd say right now you need don't focus on making girls feel turned on or attracted. Focus on them making them feel calm first. Comfort. You have to build that comfort. You can't go straight to being sexual. Kind of like the example when I was talking to the other guy. You can't just be enlightened. Like you have to have the ability to first understand what it is you're even asking. Like you have to be able to ask, you have to be able to soak in the answer before you can even. So think of sexuality as like she soaks in your sexual energy. Well, before she's ready to soak in that energy, she has to be able to soak it in. If she's closed off, if she has like a wall around her, like she's a sponge, right? Well, she has a wall around her because she's uncomfortable. How is she going to absorb your fluids, right? But if she lowers the wall, then she's an open sponge, so she can take your energy.
Right.
So focus
Yeah.
on making girls feel comfortable first.
Okay. Okay.
And just literally ask
Um.
yourself, how do I make girls feel comfortable? If you ask that question, answers are going to come. That's how I figured everything out. I just asked, what makes someone comfortable? What makes someone interested? What makes someone turned on? What makes someone scared? What makes someone feel like you're creepy? And I just found the answers, and I avoided the negative things and focused on the positive things.
Yeah. Yeah. Very
Yep.
helpful.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I
go focus on that.
I think like mystery method pretty much fucked me up
Well,
because I was
yeah,
thinking of
because mystery, he's autistic. I mean, I don't mean that in a insulting way. Like he
or in a
actually has
clinical way.
like he very likely has Asperger's, right? Because and
Ah,
he's a very intelligent guy, right? So for him, it all had to be conceptual. But I actually I have a very good friend, one of my closest friends. He's very good friends with Zan Perion. You know who that is, right?
yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay, yeah, he's like one of the grandfathers in seduction, whatever.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy. I've hung out with him multiple times.
Right.
Well, he knows Mystery, obviously, because they were all in the same circles. Well, Mystery came to visit Zan, and my friend Leo was hanging out with them, and he's like, dude, Mystery is nothing like what he teaches. He's like, he's actually really good. But he's like, he doesn't do anything the way that he explains it. Because the way he conceptualized things in Mystery Method is just his mental model. It doesn't mean that's actually how he's acting.
Yeah.
Right? So he's like, no, he's nothing like he talks about in his old material. Plus, that material is literally 24 years old, dude. I mean, that shit was in the early 2000s.
Yep.
Right?
I first heard about it like 2012. You know.
Yeah, no. I mean, the game came out in 2004, 2006, something like that. So yeah, it's been almost 20 years. So, but yeah, he's like, he's nothing like it. He's like, he's actually really good. Also, the dude is 6'7", so he's got some things going for him. Like, I don't know if you're aware of that, but he's monstrously tall, right?
I know he's tall. Yeah.
Yeah, I
know
mean, that
he's
does help,
stupid tall.
right? So, I mean, and he's a pretty good-looking guy. I mean, like, my mom thinks he's really good-looking. Like, it's her type. She's like, oh, yeah, Mister, he's really hot. So he's tall and good-looking, so he's got certain things going for him. So you have to understand that game for him is different. But you have to go do approaches, okay? No more questions until you do 20 direct approaches. Because when you go direct, you really risk making the girl feel uncomfortable because you're putting her on the spot. So you have to be able to make her feel comfortable despite you going direct. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
I actually did a direct approach a while ago. But,
do more. Do
know.
20. Come back and ask a question once you do 20. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. Okay. Who was next? Was it Danila or Frank? Frank. Do you want to ask it? Here, let's do Frank because I've talked to Danila before. Frank, you can ask this. It's better to hear you ask the question. So.
All right, thanks, Hector. You're the best for putting these on.
You're welcome.
These are nice
So
sections.
you're gonna be going to
I've
college soon?
watched a bunch of your videos for quite some time now. I'm an upcoming college freshman,
Yeah.
so that's the plan. And I was wondering, what advice have you got for some of your younger followers?
Um.
I was thinking about some of the things you've done way back when you talked about of getting a date a weekend. I know you said you don't recommend that for all, but it was definitely something that helped you get to where you are now.
Oh, did you read my college book?
I haven't read that. I've gone through some of your articles and quite a bit of the videos as well.
Yeah. So I have a
I
college
am
book.
not so much concerned about
It probably would answer a lot of things for you. I'm currently rewriting it. I have a friend who's looking over because there was a lot of negative stuff in there. Like I was kind of an asshole, so I wanted to get rid of the negative stuff. But I can send it to you in its old form.
that would be much appreciated.
Yeah, and just but you have to promise me. One, you cannot go after girls with boyfriends.
You got it.
Okay. Two, I would recommend being sober. Okay. I know college is a time where you want to party and you're gonna make your own decisions, but I would advise do your best to stay sober. Because I get ridiculously drunk in a lot of those stories and I don't want to negatively influence guys. And thank you for the email. I'll send it there. And then 3, try to be nice, you know. Try to be nice.
Yeah.
I was kind of an asshole. So as long as you promise to do those things and to ignore any of them. Well, actually I could send you the new Word document. Is that okay if it's just in the form of a Word document? Does it matter? I can send you the new version.
Not so much. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. I can send you the new version. Like it's almost complete. I can send you in the form of a Word
Yeah,
document.
it's like Christmas all over again.
What? Say that again?
I said it's almost like Christmas all over again.
It's
Thanks,
like
man.
Christmas.
I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. But besides that, I'll give you some quick tips. I'm thinking about ways to set a goal of 1 date per week. That's the plan. Oh yeah, I remember when I did that. I made a challenge where my fraternity brother could paddle me if I didn't get a date once a week. Yeah, I would suggest that's a bit too early to do that before you actually know how to talk to girls. So I got a girlfriend now. Oh, okay. But we're going to different
So that's not
schools.
too much of a problem yet.
Are you 100% going to break up?
Pretty sure.
Well,
Unless something spectacular happens.
I mean, do you want to break up?
I don't think long term or online is going to work out, and we've pretty much had our minds on that.
But I'm asking you is this a girl that you're madly in love with? Or it doesn't sound like you want to be with her. It sounds like you want to go have fun in college.
I mean, we've talked things through, and it looks like we each have our own lives that we're together now, and it's great and all, but...
Then I would suggest ending it ASAP.
Yeah.
I would suggest you have some time before the fall comes. You have a whole summer. I would suggest you break up now and start dating and start learning how to talk to girls so that you don't just come into the fall like a fucking fish out of water, because you're going to think, oh, I'm single, I can go have fun, woohoo. And then you're going to realize it's a lot harder than you remembered because you're used to, I mean, were you having sex with your girlfriend? Have you lost your virginity at least?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. You're not going into, I went into college a virgin, so, so you've at least had sex. That's good. So, yeah, I would suggest breaking up ASAP. Just be honest with her, because it doesn't sound like, you can do the whole stay with her to the last second, but I think it's just going to make things worse. I think if you just say, hey, you know what? Just be honest. Be like, look, I feel like it would be better if we were both single. We had our time to, get back into the game, and, so we don't feel as sad when it comes to the fall, And also, I'm assuming your girlfriend's not hideous, like she's decently good looking, right? There's other girls in your high school who have seen you with a cute girlfriend. If you become single, you might have a shot. Like, you have a couple months before summer starts, right? I think you have like a month before school ends. So like, why don't you try like seeing what you can do in this last month? I'm sure there was a lot of girls in your class who have crushes on you. So why don't you just ask think of like 3 girls who you've always kind of had a crush on and that you feel like have also liked you, and ask them out. Break up first, then ask them out, and then see if you can get some action, because I'm sure there's a lot. Girls are attracted to guys in relationships for various reasons. So if they're single and then you're single, ask them out. And then, if you get some yeses, try and hook up with them. Go on dates with them, get some practice. And then try to go to some high school. I mean, I'm sure you know where to go to parties. Try to go to some parties. Because high school's going to end, so everyone's kind of like in a fuck it YOLO kind of mood. Because they're not so worried about their reputation anymore, because everyone's going to college. So all of your social circles are about to evaporate. So it's kind of like getting all the, getting your last little fun out before, you're it's like a bucket list. Like, if you're going to die, go do everything you've always wanted to do. It's the same thing with social circles. Like, who gives a shit about your reputation anymore? I mean, I'm not saying be a piece of shit. What I'm saying is, girls might be more likely to suck some dick. But are you looking? It says like you're not looking for hookups, or are you okay with hookups, or you primarily want a long-term relationship?
I'm open to anything that comes along the way, and it's kind of
you're not gonna pass up some good pussy. Okay,
just goes, what will happen will happen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would suggest go get some pussy. Have some fun. The best way to look for a long-term partner is you date a lot of girls, and then she kind of rises to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
I mean, it's kind of like somebody you've already been with, like an ex comes back, or what do you mean by rises to the top?
Like, so you date this girl and you like kiss her, and then you go on a date with this other girl and you have sex with her, and then you meet this other girl at a party and you have sex with her, and then you talk to this other girl, and then while you're like dating all of them and like getting to know them better, one of them is much better than the others, right? Like,
oh, gotcha.
She's the diamond in the rough, right? These other girls are cute, but maybe she's not cute enough for me, and this other girl, she's really sexy, but she's a bit of a hoe. This girl, you know what? She's perfect. Like, I'm really attracted to her, but she also seems like you can find another girl who like everything's perfect, but she's not. You don't feel the spark. So there can be all these things that are there, but eventually you find the girl that's right for you. I would highly suggest. Look, if you want to get in a long-term relationship, do it. But I would recommend trying to stay as single as long as possible. Stay single as long until you physically you're so emotionally attached to this girl you can't say no.
Gotcha. Enjoy that sweet freedom of life.
I mean, yeah. You don't want to get in a relationship until you're like, I want to get in a relationship. Not it's just a natural thing to do. There's so many dudes from my fucking college who've married girls from their college, and I mean, they might be happy. Okay, maybe I'm just a freak, right? But come on, I'm sure they could have done better. I'm sure they could have found something a little bit better, but they fell into that trap.
I'm sure they could have. Right? Yeah.
So, go until you find the girl that's right for you, and she's probably not at your college. It's probably a pretty good bet. But hey, who knows? If you find a girl who's amazing, don't run away from something amazing either, because that's another mistake guys might make, is they're too obsessed with being dogs, and they just want to fuck, and they pass up on a really great girl.
But once you're in a relationship, what's a great way to keep the heat going?
Oh, I
know you had some articles on that.
That's a lot. Some guys recommend you keep fucking other girls. Don't do that. It does work, but it's evil. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it definitely keeps you like very like if you're getting new pussy, it definitely makes you feel strong. It makes you feel confident. It'll definitely make your girl more attached because she can smell that you're getting other pussy. but it's really bad karma and it's not worth burning in hell for. So I would definitely not recommend it.
Stay away from that.
Yeah, getting pussy, getting fucked by demons, it's a pretty, you know, you gotta balance things out. So, but that's more complicated. Let's answer that question once you do get a girlfriend.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hector. And thanks
welcome,
for agreeing to sending that Word document to me. I look forward to it.
I'll send it over to you once the call's done. All right, buddy. Good talking to you. Okay. Let's see, Danila, then we'll go to Andy. Holy shit, long time no see.
Hey.
Mr. Sephiroth himself. So we'll get Danilo first, and I'll go to you, okay? Okay.
What's up, Hector? How are you doing?
Good, man. How are you? Long time no see.
Yeah, I'm glad you remember me, man. I mean,
Yes.
Danilo is not my real name, but
Yeah. I remember. You were.
I'd like to...
Wait, one second. You were. Fuck. I remember. I thought you were Romanian when we first talked, but you're actually like you were. Fuck. You were Serbian or some shit like that. No.
Nah, I mean very close, but I'm Turkish. But
Turkish. That's right.
Yeah. See, can you address me as Danilo? Because I don't want to, you know, I want to keep my name private. So since the videos are uploaded.
I don't remember your real name.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I just see Danilo. I just see Danilo. I don't see anything else. Yeah.
Thanks. Okay. So my question is that, let's say, I mean, how do you deal with kind of like insecure guys or guys who feel threatened by you? I'm not saying that I'm the most confident guy ever, but, you know, in certain situations that has happened, I guess they try to confront you and shit. How do you deal with that? I mean,
so what? Give me a specific situation.
Yeah. Okay. At least 2 examples I have. Okay. In one instance, I was at the college and in some kind of club. It's like a nerdy club. Okay, I'm kind of a nerd at heart as well. But yeah. And we're talking about, you know,
anime,
history and shit.
Oh,
no, not anime.
Okay.
But okay, I'm going to be honest. It's like a sword fighting thing, you know.
You're LARPing. You're LARPing.
Yeah, kind of like LARPing.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I'm bigger than average than those guys. I'm not trying to boast or anything. I'm not that much muscular, but
yeah.
I mean, so I'm asking questions and shit. Sorry for using that word, but
what word? Nerd?
Shit. Yeah, etc. Shit. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, do you hear my language? Oh no, I remember you're a little. I remember when we first talked, you're a little bit more private of a guy, so I understand. It's okay. Like you're more, you're very formal. You know, you don't want to curse. It's okay. You can say you can say whatever you want.
I get it. Thanks. So I mean, there was a guy who's the skinniest of all the guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, with a pencil neck and shit. I don't want to demean anybody, but I don't want to judge anybody. But
it's okay.
He was not my equal physically. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, when I got to know her and we were talking about and etc. We shook hands. He tried to, you know, extremely squeeze my hand. Like, what are you trying to do, bro? I mean, what are you trying to do?
You asked that?
I mean,
you said that?
No. I didn't say that to him.
Oh, it's just
I didn't want
to
deal with him. I mean, he squeezed my hand and shit.
Yeah.
Bro, I was trying to get to know everybody else. You know, what's your name? Blah blah. What's your name? Blah blah. And I didn't like the guy at all.
Yeah.
But I think he was trying to confront me and etc. I don't know why.
Well, okay. So you have to understand the context here. First of all, yes.
Not
sorry.
Given the context of
my, no. I can already understand. I can already understand. Like I know exactly what you're talking about. So you have to understand that. Firstly, if you are bigger, you are triggering some fear in him, right? I mean, if I'm around someone who's huge, I mean, my instincts are going to be like, oh, could he kill me, right? And it's just natural, right? So when you see fear, usually you're going to react in some way. And so he's probably subconsciously reacting, all right? He sees you as a threat. Second of all, think of the environment that you're in. You guys are hitting each other with swords, and you're basically recreating combat that you probably did when you were, in 500 years ago when you were some knight for, a fucking European king, right? Are you guys actually...
I was going to say that. being extra gentle. Okay, I try to always be extra gentle with everybody.
Yeah,
both verbally and physically too.
And physically, yeah. I mean,
But,
I know you're not trying to beat their face in with the plastic sword, but still think of this. It's still an environment of fighting. I mean, even if I go play Street Fighter with some people, and they win, you can see them get all like, oh yeah, I'm so cool, and it's a video game. We're not actually even touching each other, right? We're just punching each other in a virtual world, but you still feel like you won, right? You still feel like, oh, I'm a big man. So I want you to think of nerds. I don't care if you're playing a card game, if you're playing a video game, or if you're fucking LARPing, hitting each other with foam swords. At the end of the day, you're just as much of a testosterone-filled meathead monkey as a boxing gym or a wrestling gym. It's the same shit. You're just using a different way. So he's in this environment with you. He wants to beat you, brother, right? And he feels intimidated. So he's emotionally reacting to that, right? Now, how do you actually deal with it? In this case, well, you have to ask yourself. There's generally two ways to deal with it. One is you ignore it, or two is you call him out, right? And there's different ways to call him out. Like, as soon as he squeezes your hand, you can kind of look at him weird. You're like, okay. And then every time you, in conversation, ignore him. Kind of treat him like a pest, right? This is one way it can work, because it can make him feel like he might have to go, oh, crap, this guy's pushing me out. And if everyone reacts and they push him out, then he has to suck your dick, right? He has to be nice to you because you're having an effect on him, right? But it can also make him worse, right? It could go two ways. The other way is you can call him out. Say, man, you can joke to him, be like, oh yeah, you have a strong handshake, buddy, like very sarcastic, and he'll go, oh, right? Or it might make him feel very insecure, and he'll get his pee-pee punched a little bit, and he'll kind of relax. Or it'll make him worse. It has two possibilities, right? The more middle way is a weird handshake is not enough to have a conversation with someone. It's not enough. But if he continues to act weird, maybe you see him next time, but be nice to him before you have the conversation. Keep being nice, keep being nice, keep being nice. Then if you see the behavior continue, then maybe one day, but you have to be around him enough for him to even listen to you. If you literally just met someone and they shake your hand too strong, and you go, hey man, we should have a conversation. Your behavior is very unacceptable. He's like, who the fuck are you? I don't give a shit about your opinion. But so you have to I mean, did you know this guy before?
No, actually. And the handshake issue was not the only thing, actually.
Okay.
That was the best example so far in my interaction with this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he was one of the method experts in the hobby. So everybody was
he's a
asking
master
questions,
swordsman.
And yeah, kind of like that. And yeah. So he was kind of like the instructor or something. And when everybody,
okay.
Yeah, everybody
he's in an authority position.
Yeah, everybody else was asking questions and shit, etc. And when the turn came to me to ask questions, he was hesitant to answering.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Everyone else is like, oh yeah, and then you ask, he's like, yeah, whatever,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, oh yeah. So this is more difficult because now he's in an authority position, so he has the power to actually be an asshole to you, right? So you are kind of in the down spot. You have two choices, or three choices actually. One, suck his dick, right? Be his bitch. Okay? That's one choice. Don't do it. Second, fight him. Be an asshole to him. You're probably not going to work because it's his environment. People are more interested in learning from him than they are being your friend, right? So if you fight with him, they're going to... Like, I remember I was in a class with a professor who didn't like me. he respected my intelligence, but he didn't like me because I would always argue with him. And other people in the class who liked him hated me because I would always fight with him and argue with him. But there were a few people who did like me because they also thought the guy was a piece of shit. But I never really gained any power except my own ego of making him look like an idiot with his stupid fucking arguments, right? But I didn't actually make any progress because I didn't care about being friends with any of these fucking nerds. But until the end of the school year, I got paired up with one of the kids who didn't like me and was his little dick sucker. And we got paired up to read a chapter. And the entire semester I spent arguing with the professor because the author was an absolute fucking retard. It's Thomas Pynchon. Don't ever read his books. It's one of the worst authors in history, okay? But I got paired up and we started having to analyze some of the pages. And I was really good because I actually was like, okay, fine, I'll just do my job. Instead of arguing, I'll just, this metaphor means this. This analogy means this. This is what the author's trying to say. And the guy was like, oh my God, these are really good insights. Like, you're really picking up on what the author is trying to do. I'm like, yeah, this is like kindergartner shit, you know? Because my problem wasn't not understanding the material. It's just I hated the guy. But I started to actually give some effort. And this guy, he liked me. He really started to be nice to me. By the end of we only spent like an hour together, and he really like went from hating me. Like when I first walked in, we met at the library. He was like, hey man, what's up? How are you? You know, like you could tell he didn't want to be there. But then by the end of it, I got to know him, and we actually had some really good conversation. And he was very open with me and admitted that he's an alcoholic and a depressed alcoholic, you know? So he was like, you know, actually making some friendship with me, having some bonding with me. So my point is, that situation, I fought and fought and fought. And then finally I was just like, okay, I'll be friends with you. Right. So that's the third option.
Yeah, I get it.
Don't suck his dick. Don't fight with him.
Yeah.
Just, okay, he doesn't like me for whatever reason, probably because I'm bigger, right?
Yeah, probably.
Don't kiss his ass. Just be very calm and respectful. And if he wants to keep being an asshole, you just have to keep enduring it and keep being nice. Unless he's a total fucking psychopath, if you keep being nice, he's eventually going to feel some empathy, and he can't keep being an asshole to you because he's going to be like, okay, I'm a dick now. I'm the dick, right? Because this guy has been nothing but patient and nice to me. Eventually, he's going to give up being an asshole to you.
Yeah, I get it. So it's like a shit test actually, but done by men, right?
Not
a little bit. Maybe.
No, it's not a shit test because it's a genuine dislike. Shit tests are like, she's just having fun, or she wants to see how you respond. He's just genuinely threatened by you.
I understand. Is it going to happen all throughout life?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I get it.
You're going to encounter this a lot.
I better make peace with that.
Yes.
Okay.
You just have to accept
allow
that
the process.
A lot of people are going to do this to you. The more people you interact with, the more people are going to do this to you.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So that was my question. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay.
Bye.
Andy, what's up, buddy? See you, man. Good luck.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Great. 2023 wasn't the best year, but this year's looking pretty good. So
yeah.
Pretty much my question is, because now I want to start back up again.
Okay.
So my current situation is we're making some money, a little bit of money, but as you heard, I don't know if you remember, but I remember telling you on the chat that I was starting off the business.
Yeah.
And so first year is pretty much learning, and then this year is where we start really going into gear.
Yeah.
And my thing is now, well, I live next to a college campus.
Yeah.
And if you go like a few blocks more down, you start getting into the downtown part of my city.
Yeah.
And thinking pretty much how to start off. I don't know if I still look up here as my age, or should I just mingle with both? I know you said earlier, not really go around the college campuses like I used to. But like, hey, if they're in the if they're in the vicinity, it sounds like, go ahead and approach.
Yeah.
Um,
If you
but
look like you don't belong, you don't want to do it too much.
mm-hmm,
But if you think you could pass off as a college kid pretty well, then, I
mm-hmm,
mean, if you wear your glasses, I think you'll be okay.
mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, you look like you could be in college. I mean, you must be in your late 20s by now, right?
Oh no. I'm in my 30s, mid 30s.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. You could pass off as I don't know. It depends. Go walk around on campus and see if people look at you weird.
Mm-hmm.
If they
I've only
don't,
had like few, yeah. Mm-hmm.
if they don't, then fucking go for it. And
Okay.
is the campus connected to the city?
They're like right next to each other.
Yeah.
So like I can go like here.
Yeah.
There's one part. Well, it's one part of the campus, and then if I go
Yeah.
downtown,
Yeah.
that's more like where people my age would mingle.
Yeah.
But if you
Fuck
go
it.
even further down, then that's another part of the campus, and so on. So there's like three big sections, of the college campus around me.
I mean, all you need is the excuse. Like, if she asks, like, "Oh, are you in school here?" Be like, "No, but I live nearby, so I just go. I like to go for walks.
Yeah.
It's a nice campus."
Hmm.
If she's weirded out by you, it has nothing to do with the fact that you're old. It
Oh
just
yeah.
has to do with the fact that she's not attracted to you. But if she's attracted to you, she doesn't give a shit. It'd be like, "Oh, okay, totally. It's a totally reasonable thing. I just like to walk
Hmm.
around."
No, yeah. Sometimes, and plus, there's like it's not real big club, but we actually do have like a small little club, downtown too.
Okay.
So I guess there's an interchange, but mainly, there's one street over here that mainly that's where all the college kids are at.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would say actually sometimes we mingle too. People my age mingle with them because of the hospital. So
Mm.
everybody's getting food there, or every now and then they might go to the bar that's nearby because it's the hospital and the campus are like so close to each other
Yeah.
that it wouldn't surprise me like to see some of my coworkers at one of the bars, college bars nearby.
Yeah.
Um, but no, yeah. So that's what I was pretty much thinking. Like,
Yeah.
how would I approach that, what have you.
Hmm.
But if it's all good, no, nothing that I shouldn't be on my toes about, then that's fine.
Yeah. No, I don't think
Um,
it's
what else? Let's see. Um, when it comes to the bio for my profile on Tinder, what do I put on that?
I don't think it has too much of a. Uh, you can leave it blank.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's too much of an issue.
Just like,
I tried so many different things and I never really saw, like any big changes.
hmm
You know, like the only one that I ever had that was like, I don't know, it was a moneymaker was, don't ask for nudes. Like, that was back when girls would put on their Tinder profiles, like all of the girls would be like,
yeah, I
don't ask
remember
me for
that.
nudes, right? So
Hmm.
I put that, and girls would be like, oh, come on, you know, and
Hmm.
joke with me. They would match with me and message me first. That's the only time I ever had like, or one time I was in Romania and I was experimenting. I was like, let me just put the weirdest shit. And I was like, I just want to get to know women. I'm a lover of women, and I just want to embrace the energy of women. Like, it was one of like the gayest shits you
That
could ever
sounds,
write,
yeah,
right?
that sounds very feminist.
Right? And
Yeah.
this girl matched with me, and she literally sent me a message. She said, I just wanted to match with you to tell you that your bio is one of the cringiest things that I've ever read.
Then why
And
not message me?
well, yeah, it's interesting, right? And so I
Yeah.
sent her a message, but I was like, I didn't really try to play with it. I should have just said, LOL, okay. And then that might have been really good. But I said, hey, I hope you're having a good day. And I hope that you, you find a better way to deal with what you're going through. And she immediately blocked me, cause she realized she was being a bitch. She was clearly just trying to express some frustration, but I should have just said, LOL, okay. That would have been like a decent,
Yeah,
response.
start off. No,
But,
yes, because
yeah.
like I don't know. I guess I get into my head when it comes to
No.
the Tinder profile. Like I don't know what to put on it. I don't know
It's
if I should put something witty. I'm
98%
not saying
your
something.
photo.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, that's what I also understand as well. That it's because they're looking at you. Like the bottom
Literally
is
just,
just
I mean,
like
it
extra
shows your
stuff.
job, right? It shows your picture, your age, and your job, right?
Hmm.
I don't think you could literally put the most basic bitch thing ever. Be
Hmm.
like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I like
I
long
know what
walks
you're
on the
saying.
beach. Like, I don't know. I don't think it matters. I've never
Okay.
seen it matter.
'Cause last time Because I remember I started off a few years ago, like 2 3, and like just no match. But then again, this is probably right after the pandemic. Oh no, that should have been a thing though.
Yeah.
Either way, I only got like one, two, I think, yeah, I would say three legit matches, and like I will admit, I think it was my texting game there. But I was hoping for like something a bit more like in the five,
It's your photos.
maybe seven.
It's your photos.
Really? Damn.
It's your photos.
All right. Um, what else? No, I think that's about it. I don't really have anything. It's just I'm gonna start going back into it.
Go do day
Um,
game. Go do day
no,
game.
yeah, trust me. Since you've last met me, like that shit is gone. I am for sure that the anxiety is gone.
Yeah.
Now I can happily say that it's just figuring out how to maneuver
When
conversations.
did we do? We did coaching like 7 years ago, didn't we?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah. It's right now it's more like if you were to point, I would go to talk to a girl, no problem. Like
Okay.
it's really gone. It really is because
Okay.
I remember going to New York and going to EDC and just start approaching like crazy.
Were you on Molly?
No, I was
Okay.
sober. I don't do
Okay.
drugs.
Good. 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 Good.
Um,
Because if you
no,
said yes, it'd be like, well, of course you were approaching girls.
no, yeah, it's one of the points where like, hey, go do it sober because what's the
Exactly.
point of
Yeah.
doing it while you're on something and when it's gone, like what are you gonna do, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, yeah, that's what I was doing, and it just went away. Like, just this is like constant, like EDC last the anniversary, I think 2 years ago,
Hmm.
just lasted just a long time. So me just constantly approaching, constantly trying to talk, constantly,
Yeah.
I just got used to it, and then New York was just the nail in the coffin where like that shit is gone because. Again, same thing. It was a more calmer thing, I
Yeah.
will admit. I love the music, so that gets me amped up and good to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And so it's going into New York and it's a bit more, it's the streets, it's the neighborhood.
Hmm.
I felt much more like and comfortable because it kind of matches with how I can my true self, like being pretty calm.
Yeah.
So I had no problem with that either. I would be 5 days, 8 hours each day, just constantly going out, just talking, talking,
Yeah.
talking, saying the same thing, repeated, and it's just down to the point where like, yeah, I could do it. My only hang up was pretty much that, um, probably a little bit on money, but money's coming in.
Hmm.
From the job because I was without a job last year.
Yeah.
So because I was trying to focus on the business thing. Like I didn't
Yeah.
want to work anything else. Let me just see how this thing called a business actually works.
Yeah.
What do I need to learn? Whatever. And so once I figured that out, like I had to go back looking for a job again. And got it back. And yeah, pretty much that's my only thing right now. I'm just uh trying to decide what to do with the money as far as dates goes because I'm thinking about just using the money to invest in the business, and then on the other hand, just pay simple my credit card bill, and that's it.
What do you
But yeah,
what do you mean like how to use your money? Like you wanna do
because
coaching or you mean
no,
like
no,
paying?
because I want to start running ads for people. So in order for a way to hook them in is just use my own money a little bit, and then
Oh.
start whoever wants to buy, hey, we'll give you for 1 month for free, and then
Yeah.
if you like it, then this is how much it costs and
Yeah.
whatever, and then what have you, the whole
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
So that's what's going on with that, and that's what
Okay.
I'm thinking too. Like how long? Just trying to think in the long term. Like if I'm trying to learn along the way, what are some losses that I'm gonna be incurring over time, so that I can adjust myself to like I
Oh,
don't know.
like how much
That.
time can I dedicate to girls and not tank the
Mm-hmm.
business is what you're at. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I
Yeah,
understand.
something like that. Yeah, but pretty
Huh.
much like I'm certain like as if I'm willing to start going just approaching again and again and again.
Yeah.
Um.
Well, just give yourself like I would say give yourself like 3 to 6 months.
Hmm.
Just say, you know what, these
Okay.
3 to 6 months are girls focused.
Hmm.
The business is on the side, and then
Yeah.
go back to the business after 3 to 6 months. Like just do
I
basic
work.
maintenance.
I work. All right. I work part-time, so it's not like I'm working
Yeah.
at the hospital like
Yeah.
every other day because I realized that's what was really draining me and making
Yeah.
me procrastinate a lot.
Yeah.
So now that I'm working part-time, it's more like 3 days, 8 hours, boom, great.
Yeah.
And this gives me a lot of free time to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to go back to the the approaching thing, no problem again. It was
Yeah.
just my concern about the profile on Tinder and just like seeing that I'm in a college area. I want to
Yeah.
see what your thoughts on what would be the best steps for me to do,
Yeah, go for it.
and then we're good to go. Cause hey man, again, that shit is gone. Like I could talk to any girl.
Good.
I'm not gonna lie though. Like growing up with how I grew up, like talking, being friendly with men is just not my thing.
No.
Like if you were to empathize, if a guy were to say, I feel sorry about myself, or say something that is not strength, like my mind immediately just says, well, you're screwed, sir. I can't help you. But if a woman were to say that to me,
Yeah.
I would be much more, oh, let me help you. Let me hear
Yeah.
where your trauma came. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am
Yeah.
more sympathetic towards them.
Yeah.
Every dude that I ever encountered in my life has always wanted to talk shit or always wanted to fight me, and I never understood why. Like I'm just, and I was a quiet kid. Like I just want to do what I want to do. Like I'm not bothering nobody.
Yeah,
And
they saw you as an easy target. And you
yeah,
probably
I
and you
guess
probably
so.
have some bad karma. You might have been an asshole in your last life.
Probably, yeah. But no, yeah, I've always been quiet and just chill, and
Yeah.
so just any kind of help from, and that's students, but any help from like adults too. Like the men were always like, we were like, what the fuck is your problem, bro? I'm just,
Yeah.
you know. Either
Yeah.
way, that's how I've pretty much,
So you're not
I'm
really
pretty
interested in
confident.
like social circle. You just want to do cold approach.
If I have to, I will. I'll dabble in it if I have to. But if
Nah,
I
no,
can
no, no,
get
no.
away with it,
I'd
then
rather
yeah, I
hang
wouldn't.
around girls.
Yeah,
There's very few men
that's
I want to hang
like,
out with.
yeah, um, yeah, pretty much about the same. Just a friend or two,
Yeah.
and then the rest are just girls. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think I have anything else. I mean, you have something for texting? I bought the book, but I'm wondering, for like your coaching for texting, or
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
'cause I'll take a look at that.
So, well, it depends. I mean, how much you want to invest.
Yeah, right.
Obviously, phone coaching is the best. We can sit there. Oh, but one second. Whoever just joined, you can. I've seen you pop in and out. You can. Oh, okay. He left again. This guy's like joined like 10 times. You can come in. I'll answer one more question, then I'll finish. Phone coaching. I mean, just for texting. I mean, you'll probably need help with more than just texting.
I know.
It depends how much you want to invest. If you just 100% want texting advice, like I send a text message and respond, then you could do like you could send like a batch of them and do like an email question.
Yeah.
That's like a couple $100. But if you want to do phone coaching, obviously it's the most effective thing, and you could go over everything. I would actually suggest, if you want to do that, I'm probably going to be increasing my pricing at the end of the month. So if you want to get on the old pricing, then I would suggest you sign up soon. Shoot me an email, or do you follow me on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
I would say shoot me a DM, and I would say we can talk about the details. Because I'm probably gonna increase my prices significantly at the end of the month. So yeah, if you want to get on the old price, I would suggest you do it soon.
No problem.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna follow up with something, but I couldn't think of it.
Texting.
But
You're asking about texting.
No, yeah, that was assured. That was
Okay.
mainly the thing. I don't
Yeah.
know. Probably gone off. It'll come back to me like later in the day.
Yep.
But no, yeah, man. Pretty much that's all I've been doing.
Yeah.
I just figured that I would take it slow. Again, I'm forcing my Street Fighter skills to like back to dating, because
Yeah.
just to see how it. Because I remember playing Street Fighter, I was so pissed that I was getting beaten, even though I'd beaten a bunch of other games, and
Yeah.
this was the first multiplayer one.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, 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 just focus, just take the L's,
Yeah.
take the L's.
Did you play 6?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I don't know what happened. I just stopped.
No, I got bored too. I got master rank with Zangief, and
Same.
then I went to a local hookup with like all the guys I used to play with Street Fighter, like the local scene, and then I played with the guy who's like, he's basically a pro. He whipped my ass, but I did okay, and then I did really well against everyone else, and I was like, okay, I could grind and maybe go to tournaments, but I only like Zangief. I don't like anyone else.
I'm surprised you chose Zangief.
Yeah, I like
But I
grapplers.
like watching Zangief fight. I like
Yeah.
the suspense that he can
Yeah.
build up.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like, but I see the weaknesses and I don't want to play anyone else. The amount of effort I would have to put in to win a tournament is obscene, and I'm not dedicating my life to this, so let's just drop it. I was like, I got good enough and I was happy with it. And then, my fears were validated. Snake Eyes got fucking shit on at the fucking Capcom Cup, fucking early pools. So it's like, all right, here's the best in the world got shit on, I'm not going to waste my time.
No.
So yeah.
No, yeah, I completely understand.
I'm
But yeah, man.
gonna start playing. I'm gonna play Final Fantasy 14 again for Dawn Trail. I'm gonna get back
the
into
MMO?
that. Yeah.
I've
I
always
love that
been
game.
thinking about it, not thinking about it.
No,
It's
dude,
like,
if you start it,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know those
catch
kind of
up,
games.
to
Yeah.
catch up, it's 800 hours.
I feel like I'm gonna have to like be with some kind of what is it called?
FC guild.
Yeah, a guild in
Yeah.
order to properly introduce me, tell me where to go.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah,
It
like
helps.
that kind
It
of
helps.
guidance. Yeah.
Yeah, it helps.
But I don't
No,
wanna do
no, you're
that,
looking
man.
at 800 hours for
Yeah,
the full story.
oh my fuck me. Because I know they've been adding expansions and like the fan
Yeah.
base is just getting hyped for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna stop here. I don't want to keep you
Yeah.
too much.
All right, buddy. Good talking to you, man. Good
but yeah,
catching up
man.
with you. Yeah, dude.
Later. Peace
For
out.
those of you watching, I coached with this motherfucker 7 years ago. So
Yeah.
you've changed a lot. You seem different in a good way. So good
No,
for you.
yeah, I could see it. But
Yeah.
looking back, I was like, fuck, why couldn't I learn this shit? Like, why couldn't it hit me years before? Like,
Yeah.
But now
Yeah.
I get it. I'm starting to get it. Again, all the fundamentals, everything that I learned from Street Fighter, again, I am
Yeah.
implementing here. The patience,
Yep.
take the
Footsies,
L's,
spacing.
don't take the mix-ups for
Yep.
later. Like,
Yep.
this is all gonna come through. It just
Yep.
does because you keep doing it so much.
Yeah.
You naturally begin to play with like, let
Yeah.
me just say this. Let me just say
Mhm.
that. Let me do it this way. Let me do it that way. Like it
Mhm.
just becomes and that's just approaching. Like you might just start doing the dating a little later, and then the same thing will happen once you keep dating a lot. Like just want to adjust this, change that. Like you'll figure out your style.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
Cool.
GG's.
GG,
Nice
buddy.
talking to you.
See you soon, man.
Yeah, see ya.
Ciao. All right, let me go ahead and end the Zoom. See you, Rick. All right, and then I will take one last look at this. I went 2 hours. God damn it. Fuck all of you. Da, 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 da. You guys are talking to yourself. Okay, good. Good. You guys are helping each other out. All right, boys. Good talking to you. Buy my shit in the description below. Get my texting book. Get my day game course. If you want to do coaching, it's expensive, but I suggest you get on it now. Because if you don't, I'm raising my prices soon. I'm pretty sure I'll be making the final decision here in a moment, but I'm like very, very sure I'm increasing my prices, and that is going to, one second, I'm grabbing the link. Copy link. Go sign up here. Oh God, what just happened? Did I just shit in the bed? Why won't the link go? One second. Here we go. Sign up for coaching. Okay. It's right there. I'll even pin it if it'll let me. There's a heart over it and I can't pin it. What a shitty fucking... Wait, let me type a bunch so I can pin it. There we go. Alright, it's pinned. Go sign up for coaching. Prices will soon rise. If you can't afford it, get my day game course in the description. Get my texting book. Okay. Good luck, everybody. Love you. Go fuck yourself. Bye.